Welcome back to the Heartland Show on Midwest Whitetail. First and foremost, we really appreciate you guys joining us for another week. This week we're going to take it back a few weeks now to Jason McManus, as he was able to kill 2 great bucks in the state of Iowa, one on a statewide tag and one on an urban tag. And you're not going to want to miss those 2 kills, because I know one of them's a little bit of a sweet redemption story for Jason. So really looking forward to checking that one out. And then we're going to check in with Matt, as he's able to get a doe down on a permission piece. So let's jump right into this week's action.
Hey guys, welcome to Midwest Whitetail. It's the afternoon of Saturday, October 28th. We've had a pretty big temperature drop here in the past several days, so it's a nice, cool, crisp fall evening this evening. Kind of overcast skies, can't really decide what it wants to do, but we've got a pretty consistent north-northeast wind. So I'm set up in the south edge of this small permission property. It's actually the first time I've hunted outside of the urban zone so far this year. Pretty small permission property. It's actually a place I've hunted since I was a kid, and it's just kind of a special spot for me. A lot of firsts here, and I'm guessing this is probably going to continue to be a spot I hunt with as my kids get older and stuff like that. But there's been a pretty nice 8-pointer hanging out in this area, and so I set up over a pretty fresh scrape here that I can tell is getting some work, and then there's a few pretty fresh rubs too. So gonna cross our fingers. I do have a doe tag too, so if a lone doe comes through, we'll take her as well and put some meat in the freezer. But any action, we'll be sure to bring it to you. Well, guys, nothing yet. Been pretty slow for about the first hour. I did get a glimpse of a doe through the timber, but she never worked her way this way. So we'll just, we got about another hour left of daylight, and hopefully we'll have some action here soon. Yeah. Are you kidding me? That happened so fast. I thought it was a doe because I had seen a doe through the timber over here, not too far away, and I thought that was her just kind of looping back around. So I wasn't even 100% ready for that. I didn't think it was a buck at all. I didn't hear him crash. He kind of wheeled off. Felt like a good hit, but I lost sight of him behind the same tree that he popped out from behind before. So got to be patient on that one. It's supposed to be nice and cool overnight. Might give it the night and come back tomorrow. I'll have to watch it and see what happens. But wow, that happened pretty fast.
All right, guys, back in the truck here. I decided I hunted about another 20-30 minutes. I had a doe tag I was trying to fill too. Just watched the footage a couple of times while I was sitting in the stand, and I think what happened is the arrow hit the offside shoulder and broke off probably. So I think everything should be fine. I was initially worried about penetration, but I think we probably got through that chest cavity, so probably a harder double lung shot. Probably won't be much of a blood trail. It's kind of a steep angle and didn't pass through, so just gonna play it safe and come back in the morning. It's supposed to be nice and cool tonight. The other upside of that is one of my buddies, this is his family farm. He just moved back from the Army, and I'm sure him and his son would enjoy blood trailing with me. So hopefully we'll have a fun morning and get our hands on that buck.
It's the next day. We've got my old friend Keegan and his son Wyatt and my son Jack. So we're gonna start blood trailing. I did shoot last night, and after watching the footage again, I think it was a pretty good shot, so I don't think it'll be that hard of a blood trail. So pretty confident here, and thought we'd bring the kids out for their first blood trail. See, that's the one that went in them for that much. Yep, so it went pretty far. We got pretty good penetration, a few inches at least.
I could keep it.
Yep, you want to carry that?
Yep. There's another still right here though.
You gotta look for, it's probably either you're gonna see the antlers or a white belly.
Those rubs on the tree right there?
Any white bellies or any antlers yet?
No.
I think Trent found him. Wow, big. Okay guys, well I got this buck cleaned up and drug him a little closer to the truck, and the kids went up to the house. So just thought I'd take a minute to talk a little bit more about this hunt. It's a pretty fun hunt. I've had pictures of this deer on trail camera the past several days over a scrape and a rub line. And this farm in particular is one of the very first farms I ever got permission on when I first started hunting. Probably back in junior high, I want to say. I started hunting here, and it's been a fun, memorable place to hunt ever since. It's always been a special place for me to hunt. It's where my wife Olivia shot her first deer. I'm guessing my son Jack will probably shoot his first deer here. But just a special place, and it's kind of nice to get back out in the county like this. I think the past 3 or 4 bucks that I've shot have been urban zone bucks, and you know, although there's some really nice deer in the urban zone, there's a lot of, I guess I'll say, riffraff that comes around or comes along with hunting the urban zone, you know, between people and you know, businesses and dogs and bikers and golfers. There's just it's not exactly the serenity and the peacefulness that some of us look for in hunting. So it's nice to get back out here, and I couldn't be happier to wrap my tag around this buck. Morning guys, it's Sunday, November 5th. So it's the morning after I was able to get that doe last night, so I'm actually set up in the exact same tree. I left most of my stuff up in the tree, and I've seen quite a few does over the past several days betting on this, so I'm hoping bucks will kind of work on the downwind side of them. Just kind of scent check in, and there happens to be 2 scrapes just about 20 yards upwind of me too, so it seems like a nice little cruising corridor for bucks to be checking those does and freshening up those scrapes. About an hour after I left last night, there was a nice shooter buck that came through here that I got some trail camera pictures of, and I'm guessing he was doing pretty much exactly that. So fingers crossed. Nice cool morning, pretty steady, perfect wind for me. Nice layer of frost in the ground, nice and dry, so I should be able to hear stuff coming. It's pretty thick with honeysuckle in here, so it's always a little bit of a challenge, but hopefully we'll have some action here soon. Nick. Yeah. 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 Are you kidding me? I cannot believe that. That is so lucky. So that buck, he was following a doe, and he came through on my left-hand side here, and I tried a tough shot. The doe was kind of walking away, so if he followed the doe, I knew I wasn't gonna get another opportunity, so I tried sneaking an arrow through these branches, and I had a tight window. I stopped him, and I knew I had a tight window, so I think I just rushed the shot. I don't think I had a branch or anything. I'll double check. I mean, that would be the more convenient excuse, but I think I just whiffed it and shot 6 inches above his back. Luckily, the doe, though, ended up coming and working back toward me. He walked straight under, and I actually saw him fall. I think I can see his antler right over here, so he hasn't moved at all, but I'm just gonna give it a little bit just to be safe. Just don't want to be chasing deer around in here. That happened so fast. All I had seen was 3 coyotes all morning. I was already kind of losing morale. I'd burned through my snacks, which is never good when you're only 2 hours into a rut hunt. But yeah, so I saw him, and he just followed that doe perfectly. So gave me time to get the camera set up because I knew he was just gonna follow her same trail. Holy cow, that is awesome. He looked like a pretty good buck. I think it's the one I had on camera last night, but holy smokes, that is awesome. All right, guys, so John came out here. He's gonna give me a hand with the recovery. Like I mentioned, when I was still up in the tree, I could see the buck fall and could see his antler the entire time, and he hasn't moved. It's been probably an hour now since I shot him, but just fun to have your friends out with the recovery, and helps with the footage and everything else. So we're gonna walk on over and take a look at this buck. Broke it.
Yep, that's the guy. Split brow's the dead giveaway right there. That's the one I had on camera last night. So he came and worked the scrape right underneath my tree about an hour after I left.
Cool buck. That is so neat right there. Little split brow. Big old bases too. Really cool deer. Yeah, this has been the biggest one that I've had on trail camera in this area all season. Yeah, I got super lucky there. 2 shots. You know, if this was mid-October, that buck would probably been in a different county after that first shot that I whiffed. So luckily that doe came through and gave me another opportunity here, and I was able to get a good shot on him. Looks like, let's see, I can see bubbles right here coming out, but it might be a hard shot, but I at the very least double lunged him because he didn't make it more than 20 yards from where I shot him. So that's about best case scenario in the urban zone, is to watch him fall, and you always got to be kind of cautious with your shots. And unfortunately I rushed that first one, but that second one I was able to kind of slow things down, take that second, you know, before the shot to really kind of calm the nerves and squeeze off a perfect shot on him. So couldn't be happier, and still got 1 different urban zone buck tag in my pocket. So still a little hunting left for me to do, but the statewide is filled, and then now obviously this urban buck's filled. So heck of a past week, and awesome start to the rut.
Well, it's about 9:30 here, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and pack up and get down. It's supposed to get pretty warm today, so I'm gonna see if I can't get the doe out of here and clean and cut up and get her in the cooler before it gets too hot. So, had a pretty good hunt for the morning of November the 15th. Saw quite a bit of action, quite a few does and some little bucks, just not the mature buck that I was looking for. So, might try to hunt this afternoon, but if not, this will be my last hunt before the Illinois gun season opens up on Friday. And after that, I'll probably just have to regroup, move some cameras around, see what made it through, and try to come up with a different plan here for after the gun season. So, but good hunt this morning. Pretty excited to finally draw some blood for the season and put some meat in the freezer. So, I'm gonna get down and get her out of here.
Well, that's gonna wrap up this week's action. Really hope you guys enjoyed that. It was cool to see those 2 bucks hit the ground for him in the same week. And you gotta love a good doe kill. So moving forward for us, there's some really good days ahead. You know, weather is really pending from this point of the season on as the rut's kind of dwindled down here to a close, and I'm sure in a lot of farms it is done. You know, I'm sure those home does are definitely have all been bred at this point and cycled. So if you've got food and we get weather, we talk about it all the time on this show, but it can be just as some of the best days even. So for me specifically, I'll be targeting the big 8 on the home farm. As of right now, he's gonna be my #1 target and maybe the only deer that I target the rest of the year. There's some other mature bucks out there, but I think it'd be awesome to put an end to that deer. So looking forward to utilizing all the food and the hard work that we've put on our farm this year and trying to capitalize on one of these fronts, and can't wait to see what the rest of the staff has to bring you guys. So once again, thanks for checking in with us on another week of the Heartland Show on Midwest Whitetail.